So Kura Yala out of ISUPK, Connecticut. And today we're going to go into a brotherhood class. And again, I'd like to say shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yashabrak Yahweh Shema Thumb Bashem Yashai. And we're going to jump right into it right now. We're going to go into an article that I picked up last week. And the incident happened out in Rio Grande, you know, and big up to Rio Grande out there. We got a school out there too, doing their thing. Um, but there was an interesting article that, again, as you see this every day, if not every day, every other day, of the Lord's chosen people being mistreated by the hands of our oppressors. Now, it was down in Texas. I'm sorry, Rio Grande is out in Texas, where again our people was being mistreated, and the article, okay, it goes, it was down in Texas. It says Texas troopers told to push back migrants into Rio Grande and ordered not to give water amid soaring temperatures, reports said. Now, you have to be a real cold hearted, inhumane beast if you see that it's soaring outside and you see people they trying to cross over to get away from the gangs in their country, the mistreatment. They trying to create a safe haven for their people. And this wicked country, our oppressors that don't care about the Lord's chosen people. And when I say the Lord's chosen people, I'm talking about the 12 tribes of Israel, the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. They don't care. They don't care enough to give water to our people. Okay. So the article goes like this. It says emails shared with CNN by Texas Department of Public Safety detail a trooper medic expressing concerns to a supervisor over the inhumane treatment of migrants along the border of Eagle Pass, Texas. The Department of Homeland Security and Justice Department are in ongoing talks about the actions. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, Salaki. Salaki. The Department of Homeland Security and Justice Department are in ongoing talks about what action can be taken against Texas amid concerns over Texas Governor Greg Abbott's months-long operation along the U.S. southern border, according to the source familiar with the discussions. In the email, the trooper said medics were giving orders to push people back into the water to go to Mexico, and we're also ordered not to give water to the migrants. The email is a report of weekly events and operational concerns from June 24th to July 1st. While the officers worked as a trooper medic, the email was first reported by the Houston Chronicle on Monday. In the in 1 7 hour period late last month, according to the email, two medics from the state Department of Public Safety said they treated a 4 year old a 4 year old a 4 year old girl passed out in the 100-degree heat after Texas National Guard personnel pushed the group she was in back towards Mexico. A man with a significant laceration on his leg suffered when he tried to rescue his child from razor wire placed on a deterrent boy in the Rio Grande. A 15-year-old boy with a broken leg suffered when he tried to cross a more dangerous part of the river away from the boys. A 19-year-old woman trapped in the wire having a miscarriage. Now, a pregnant woman have to go through this as well as the children, as well as the old, the young, people that just want a simple life, right? The next day, according to the email, the troopers got reports of a mother and two children trying to cross the river in an area without wire. The woman and one child were grabbed after being underwater for about a minute. Both were pronounced dead at the hospital. The body of the other child was recovered later. One, on another shift, the medics said they found about 120 people camping out, including nursing babies and other young children, exhausted, hungry, and tired after a day when the temperature reached 108 degrees in the shade. The medics questioned an order to push them back to push them back to the river towards Mexico, as they thought it was not the correct thing to do and one that could have led to the risk of drowning. They were told to leave the area, the trooper wrote in the email. A trooper medics contacted their superiors while on duty and again in writing, calling for changes in the latest Operation Lone Star policies brought in by Abbott. I believe we have stepped over the line into the inhumane sick. We need to operate we need to operate correctly in the eyes of the Most High. The trooper said in the eyes of God, excuse me. The the trooper said we need to recognize that these are people who are made in the image of God and need to be treated as such. Damn right. In the email, the trooper also voices concerns over the casualty wire. The casualty wire needs to provide protection to the state and provide a safe means of travel on solid land to proper collection points. The wire also needs to be manned and patrolled constantly to provide security for these families who are seeking refuge. The wire on the shore needs to be lightened at the night so people can see the wire and not stumble into it and as a trap. The wire and barrels in the river need to be taken out as this is nothing but a, a inhumane sick trap in high water and low visibility. The trooper writes, DHS spokesperson Aaron Heaters said in a statement the report is troubling and, if true, is cruel and inhumane. Enforcing immigrant laws is a federal authority. and DHS continues to prioritize the well-being of those we encounter and those we are in and those in our custody through the implementation of our plan to safely and humanely manage the southwest border. We can also enforce our laws and treat human beings with dignity, the statement added. DPS spokesperson Travis Considine was not able to confirm or comment on any of the accounts detailed in the email. When asked about troopers being told to push migrants back into the water or deny water, Considine told CNN the Office of the Inspector General is investigating the incident. Troopers gave migrants water. They treated their wounds. They saved them from drowning. They also do everything possible to deter them from risking their lives in the first place, Considine tweeted Monday evening. And Texas National Guard members have not been given any orders to push migrants back into the water. The Texas Military Department Public Affairs Office told CNN. The Texas National Guard mission is to work alongside our Texas law enforcement partners to prevent, deter, and interdict transnational criminal activity between ports of entry, the department said in an email. There is no order to directive instruction service members to push illegal immigrants back into the river or deny them drinking water. In a Tuesday joint statement with other Texas top officials, including DPS Chief Steve McGraw, Governor Greg Abbott's office said they have been no orders or directions given under operations, Lone Star, that would compromise the lives of those attempting to cross the border illegally. The Texas Department of Public Safety and Texas Military Department continue taking steps to monitor migrants in distress, provided appropriate medical attention when needed, and encourage them to use one of 29 international bridges along the Texas Mexico border where they can safely and legally cross, they said. We may need to aid those in medical distress. In a separate email shared by DPS, South Texas DPS Director Victor Escalon writes to agency officials saying troopers should open the wide to help when necessary. As we enforce state law, we may need to open the wire to aid individuals in medical distress, maintaining the peace, and or to make an arrest for criminal trespass, criminal mischief, acts of violence, or other state criminals, Echelon said. Echelon also noted in the email troopers should continue messaging to the migrants via personnel verbal commands. LR, LRADS, long range acoustic devices, and signage about the dangers of crossing the Rio Grande into the United States, and remind migrants to turn themselves into the port of entry in the Mexican side. Our DPS medical units is assigned to this operation to address medical concerns for everyone involved as we enforce state laws and so forth, right? Now, they going back and forth. They doing a PR move. But understand that we have targets on our backs. And when I say we, I'm talking about Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Clearly, as you can see, that for years, when you sit there and you look, I'm gonna go into Ezekiel. 35 and 5. You got to understand there's gonna be a penalty for our oppressors, for these devil dogs. There's gonna be a penalty for them. There's gonna be judgment against them because to sit there and push people that's looking for freedom, that just want a quality way of life. They don't want to have to dodge bullets. They don't want to have to be extorted, be, raped, murdered, taken advantage of. They just want to live. They want to work, eat, and provide for their family without the extra BS of being oppressed by the oppressed, right? And when you come here to the United States, this is supposed to be the land of the free, the home of the brave, right? But clearly it's not, because when you look at this incident amongst hundreds of other incidents prior to this, and thousands of more that's going to happen before our King Yahweh Mashiach comes back. Understand, when you look at Akuna, which big up to our brothers out there in Houston, when our brothers from Texas went out to Acuna, Mexico, to help our brothers, our Haitian brothers that was displaced under a bridge in Mexico from another country to another country, right? Under a bridge. Our brothers went out there to give them food, clothing for the kids, toiletries, water. Because ISUPK, the Commanding General Yohana, we care about our people. We are the only ones that care about our people. You want to know why? Because we can be sitting down there. The brothers down in Texas could have been home with their many wives, with their families, going about their business. But we have that much love for our people where we sacrifice going into a dangerous area in Mexico to do something that our government was supposed to do, which our government neglected to do, which they still neglecting to do with our brothers and sisters from South America, because they're giving them all kinds of problems, placing them here throughout the states. But you know who didn't have a problem? You know who they didn't have a problem uh placing and setting them up? Those thousands, hundreds of thousands, those thousands of migrants from Afghanistan, those thousands of migrants from the Ukraine. You don't hear nothing about them having any issues of housing or anywhere to go or live after coming into the States here. But you know who have problems? Our brothers and sisters from Mexico, our brothers and sisters from South America, our brothers and sisters from Haiti. And you're going to tell me that our oppressor got love for the Most High, the Most High power, Yahweh's people? You gonna tell me that there's nothing wrong with that? Everything's wrong with that. But at the same token, we shouldn't be surprised, because in the Bible it tells you who exactly our enemy is. And I'm gonna go into some scriptures, Ezekiel 35 and 5, right? Because understand that although we're being mistreated as a people now, just rest assured that the Most High tells you vengeance is His, right? Now I'm gonna go into Ezekiel 35, and let's go into 4. Let's go. Let's go into 4 because the Most High is going to destroy this kingdom. It says, "I will lay the city waste." Okay, hold on. Let's go. Let's go to 5. It said, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, even to this day, up until the last moment of the shift in authority. Our oppressor, these devil dogs, is going to oppress us, and they are going to force the sword to the very last end on our people, the 12 tribes, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians." It says, verse 6, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Most High Powers, I will prepare thee unto blood, and the blood shall pursue thee. Sit, sit, thou hast not had blood, even blood shall pursue thee." Verse 7, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth." And understand that Mount Seir is what they call America today, right? And the Most High is saying he's going to make it desolate. He's going to destroy this place, right? Verse 8, "And I will fill his mountains with his slain men." I'm going to read that again, verse 8. It said, I will fill his mountains with his slain men in thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And verse 9, "I will make thee perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Most High Power." Right now, I'm gonna go into a precept on that, verse 8. I'm going to Jeremiah 16 and 16. This is one. This is one of my favorites right here. Scriptures. Jeremiah 16 and 16. It says, "Behold, I will send for many fishes, saith the Most High, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquities hid from my eyes." Verse 18, and first I will recompense their iniquities and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled my inheritance with the carcass of their detestable and abominable things. Understand that the Most High, right now, we're fishing. You see us online, you see us in the streets, you see us doing everything. We're fishing. We're trying to bring our people back to the Lord. But it's going to be a time where we're putting away the fishing rods and we're pulling out the sword. And all this is of the Lord. All this is of the Lord. I pray to the Most High. I pray in that day that the Most High have me. I make it through this first resurrection. I pray that the Lord allow me to be a part of that, for all that our oppressors have done, for everything that they've done to our people. to our ancestors. Question I have out there in social media world is: do you think it's right? Do you think it's only fair that they get back double, 10 times more than what they've done to our people? If you're not part of the 12 tribes and you're watching this, you have to ask yourself: wouldn't you want wouldn't you want justice for your people? And if the answer is yes, then you should understand how we feel and why we feel the way we feel and why the Lord feels the way he feels about his people. Now I'm gonna drop that and I'm gonna go into another scripture because you gotta understand who, you know, hold on. You gotta understand who your enemy is. You gotta understand in order to make it in a kingdom that do not belong to you or a kingdom that do not belong to us. In order to make it, you have to know who your enemies are. You have to know who you're dealing with. And knowing your enemy is half the battle. Knowing who your enemy are is half the battle. Because a lot of our people, because of being misled by the Christian church, by all these other doctrines of other nations that our people tend to gravitate to, we have to know who our enemy is. You know, even the animals of this earth know that our oppressors, the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, these red devil dogs, or as my son would say, peach people. They are the devil that the Bible speaks of, not because of the skin color, but because of their character. Their character is wicked, is deceitful, is evil, right? So as long as we know our enemy, then we can really focus on what we need to do and come back to the Most High, our powers. Now I'm gonna go into Ecclesiasticus 12 and 15 and 10, excuse me. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusted, so is his wickedness." Right? Never trust thy enemy, because for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. You're not going to tell me putting any kind of order out to not give water for somebody that's hot, that's in a heated climate. Understand this. This is how you know our oppressor hates us. Because Lord forbid that those was uh, dogs outside, they would have got water from all four corners of the earth to give them dogs water. And you're gonna tell me you can't give pregnant women, children, old people, people that's injured, people that's just out there, regardless of whether they're healthy or not. You don't have that much humanity, a humane bone in you to give them water to quench their thirst, and then you give an order to push them out, push them back into the water with a strong possibility of them drowning. You gonna tell me that that's acceptable and that we should be fine with that and we shouldn't complain about that? So when you see articles like this, when you see articles of our people being oppressed day and night, our brothers and sisters in Mexico, our brothers and sisters in Jamaica, our brothers and sisters throughout ghetto USA, from East Coast, West Coast, up north, down south, right? Throughout the four corners of the earth. When you see our people being slaughtered, mistreated, why is there no outrage? But let it happen to one of their own people, they ready to comb the four corners of this earth to investigate to find out what happened. You wanna know why? Because they care about their people. And ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana, we care about our people. The Lord's chosen people, the 12 tribes, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, all the way from the so-called Negro Americans, which is the tribe of Judah, all the way down to the so-called brothers and sisters in Mexico, which is the tribe of Issachar. We care about our people. So understand this: in order to in order for the Lord to protect you, you have to come. We have to come back to the Lord. We have to come back to the Most High. We have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. We have to stop being drug dealers. We have to stop being whores, murderers, living alternative lifestyles. We have to stop molesting children, raping women, raping young boys, young girls. We have to stop doing these things, stop being murderers, again, drug dealers, whores. We have to stop encouraging these behaviors as well. But you know how you do that? You come back following these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High put out for us to follow. Because if we don't do that, we're destined for doom. We're destined for worse than what's happening to our brothers and sisters in Rio Grande, for our brothers and sisters throughout ghetto USA, the four corners of this earth, and all these other countries being mistreated. There's a remedy for getting out this hell that we're in. There's a remedy. And the remedy is coming back to the Lord, coming back to the Most High, our powers. But until then, we're going to suffer and we're going to see a lot more of this going on. Understand the time is our oppressor's time is cut short and it's coming to a halt. So if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian and you are in the Connecticut area, or if not, and you're somewhere else and you see this, there's a website, isupk.com. Get into a class near you in your city. Find a city closest to you. Get in it. A lot of these cities, our cities have online classes and physical classes. So when you see the information on there, you get on there, get in these classes, and you come back and you claim your culture. Before I go, I want to shout out. I see Officer Paratazar from Yonkers, New York, up in there. Shalom, Yabba Shemya Shabrakata. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you checking in, brother. Um, Lord willing, I'm gonna see you this week. Um, But that's my time, Israel. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshabrak Yahweh Shemal Thumb by Shem Shai, priest and officer Kurah Ya'ala out of ISUPK, Connecticut. That's my time. Shalom.